Hey guys, I want to show you a support Warlock bomber build here using the new Exotic, the EUNOIA. I think it's pronounced EUNOIA. So helium projectiles deal increased damage the further they travel, eventually fracturing into scorching shrapnel. This thing's been pretty fun to play around with. I think overall, if you're going to roll solo activity, Starfire Protocol, I don't have it here, but Starfire Protocol is probably stronger. However, if you want to mess around with this thing in a support build for higher level activities, this thing is actually really fun and can be really powerful. We're going to do a support build here using the Warlock, the Well of Radiance on the Solar Warlock here. So I'm going to use No Hesitation to do healing output for our team. It's going to also be able to proc the Ember of Benevolence for us. This is going to get all our abilities back pretty fast. It's going to enable us to spam out our Helion all the time. And we're going to go pretty hard into the class stat here. So we're going to take advantage of 160 base class stat. Then we've also got a mod on here that's going to increase that, the class font. So when we get an armor charge, when we collect an orb of power, we're going to get even more class stats. Going to push it up pretty close to the 200 mark here. So what does it do when we go over the 100 mark? We actually get an overshield when we pop it. So we get a 24.2 overshield at 161. We're going to have max class ability cooldown, and we're going to get more class ability energy from all sources. So we're going to be able to get our class ability back really fast here. So the gimmick of the build here is reasonably simple. It's designed for higher level activity for support play. You're going to put your Rift down, you're going to get up your Halion, you're going to be able to spread Scorch everywhere. Our No Hesitation also has an enhanced incandescent on it. So defeating target spreads a longer lasting Scorch. So we're going to be able to get even more burning stuff out on the field as well. So yeah, you're going to put your Rift down, you're going to support your allies. As soon as they step into the Rift, they're going to get Benevolence. If you don't have Benevolence, you can just shoot them. You can hip fire with No Hesitation. That can give you Benevolence back as well. Now, in terms of the skills, I've gone for Healing Rift, Balanced Glide, Celestial Fire, and Healing Grenade. We have really low grenade stats, so I've just decided to put a Support Grenade on here with the Touch of Flame. Obviously, the other one we got on here is Helion. In terms of the Fragment Ember of Ashes for more Scorch stacks, since we're going to be scorching a lot, Ember of Benevolence is the one I showed you before. That's pretty important. That'll get all our ability regeneration happening a lot faster. Ember of Singeing, your class ability, it recharges faster when you scorch targets. And then Ember of Tortures, the powered melee attacks against combatants, makes you radiant. So it's really nice for getting all of our buffs up. It's nice for getting Benevolence up as well. And as I said, I've gone with Relative Radiance. Depending on what activity you're doing, you could put on Song of Flame if you need more offensive output. So, as I said, the build plays reasonably simple. It's designed for higher level play with teammates. So, if you want to play solo build, I'll show you a solo variation of the setup. But I'll just go through the mod setup here first. It's reasonably simple. I've got class mods where I can get them. Harmonic Siphon, Super Fonts. This is giving us a bit more super when we have the armor charge. Put on Heavy Ammo Finder. You could switch this out for something else as well. So we're on solar, so Harmonic Siphon is going to be for our solar weapons. So these two weapons. You can definitely sub this out. This is just a damage weapon that I had down here in the exotic slot. In terms of the mods here, just gone for more class. Harmonic Loader ×2, and then I've gone the Shield Break Charge. You could take this out, put a little bit more stat points in there if you want, or you could go with different type of loader. You could even go Dexterity if you really wanted to. Since we're going to go with some armor charge, I figured anytime we're going up against solar shields, we're going to be armor charged just all the time. I just got resistance mods in here. You could change this up. Just gone for nice safety stuff here. And another class mod, nothing too crazy. Here we've gone for stacks on stacks, so we can get as much armor charge as we can, so we can just have our stats boosted all the time. And I've just gone for enhanced athletics for the extra movement speed we can get, and then recuperation. This one's pretty cheap, so it makes sense to put it on there. And then we've gone for the class font here, so we get a maximum class energy, or not energy, stat points. Time dilation, so the armor charge lasts longer, and then we can scoop up the orbs when we pop our class ability, since we're going to be popping it quite a bit. So It's a reasonably simple setup here. We're going to be able to throw Scorch out on the field. We're going to be able to support our teammates, put a lot of healing out on the field. We're going to have our Rifts out constantly. Going to have our Helion out all the time. It's a pretty fun setup. It is definitely designed to be a support setup for group play. So I'll show you a variant of the setup here that is pretty good for running solo ops if you just want to farm some power level in solo ops. It's going to be the same sort of setup here. The skill tree here is going to be a little bit different though. Most of this is the same, except we're going to use Phoenix Dive with Heat Rises. So this is going to enable us to get a lot of restoration happening. It's not perfect like this. I think Starfire Protocol is the better setup, but if you do want to use the new exotic, this is how I've got it set up here. So Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Solace, so the restoration and radiant effects last longer. We've got Ember of Singeing and Ember of Torches here, so we can get Radiant. So the idea is a little bit different here. You're going to pop your grenade to get Heat Rises, and you're going to use your Dive ability, then you're going to get the Helion, and you're going to basically have your Helion up all the time. The ability regeneration is a little bit slow for the grenade, so you could potentially sub something out here for some more grenade energy recharge, or you could even put some of the different mods on here that enable you to get more grenade energy when you pop your class ability. It's actually probably worth putting on some bombers here. You could take off some of this stuff. Maybe you want the class fonts off. You could probably put another bomber on here if you wanted to, or you could maybe just roll with one. But double bomber is pretty fun, so you could do that if you really wanted to get your grenade energy back a bit faster. But I wanted to use this Burning Ambition Enhanced straight deals sustained damage more quickly. Scorches the target, dealing damage to a Scorch target inflicts Scorch. So it's pretty fun. You can stack a lot of Scorch using this thing and get a good amount of ignitions. I would recommend just maybe putting a backup mag in here to get the magazine up a bit higher. So this is a heavy burst, a fires a hard hitting 2 burst to hand cannon. It's one of the new ones here. It's pretty interesting. This is an arrowhead, break, ricochet, enhanced snapshot, and burning ambition. So it's pretty fun to use on the setup. Again, your exotic slot is open. You can put whatever you want. So the other weapon that I've been rolling with for the setup here is the rocket-assisted frame pulse rifle with rewind rounds. When this weapon magazine is empty, refills from reserves based on the number of hits. If you're just shooting this at a boss, you can empty your entire reserves without ever having to reload. It's really, really nice. This is the best one I've gotten thus far. It's got elemental honing on it. This is not necessarily that amazing. It's all right. Dealing unique elemental damage grants this weapon stacking damage bonus. Bonus is increased for kinetic weapons, so it's all right, but the main focus here is rewind rounds. This is not a bad roll though, so it's a pretty strong weapon in the current sandbox. I do recommend using it for your special if you're going to use an elemental primary in this slot here. It's really, really powerful. So I'll show you guys a little bit of solo gameplay here, so just give us a moment. So here we are in the solo ops playlist. We'll pop that, hit this. Okay, can we get some good ignitions going on the big target here? Man, stop teleporting, dude. So is this thing worth using over Starfire Protocol? I mean, if you want to use something different for fun, I think this sort of setup can be pretty enjoyable to use. Is it as powerful as that though? Just on raw power? No, I don't think so. I don't think the Helion is as strong as having multiple of the fusion grenades going. Okay, what are we doing? Defending the conflux here. Yeah, having multiple of the fusion grenades going at any given time, I think is just going to be more powerful overall. If you want to use something different though, and you want to use the new exotic, I think this is a sort of pretty fun kind of setup you can use with some of the new gear. I just threw on Sleeper Sim for my heavy. You totally don't have to do that. You could use a different exotic weapon with the setup if you really, really wanted to. You could even throw on, if you wanted to go gimmick style, you could throw on the Sky Burners for even more Scorch. I don't know, depending on what you're doing, it can be all right. But yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice, I would say. All right, we got some more enemies. Pop these. And we can let it do more damage from range. Can it even hit them from here? Yeah, sort of. Let's get a bit closer. Yeah, at this difficulty level, though, I mean, you can just sort of stomp through I would love to be able to do the master one at my level, at least try. I mean, if you're, I don't know, I think my power delta or whatever is going to be too low. I could probably just do 0 damage, but yeah. Okay, we'll just try some ignition damage on him. Yeah, I still think boss damage with some of these other weapons is just going to be way faster, but that's alright. Okay, then we can always just pop this, you know, do a bit of this. So yeah, I think Starfire overall is a stronger exotic for these solo Warlock builds. So that's the build, guys, using the EUNOIA? Is that how you say it? Man, I don't even know. So there's 2 variants. One for high-level PvE group play using no hesitation with Well of Radiance. And the second variant for solo play, if you want to use this thing instead of Starfire. I think Starfire at the moment is a stronger exotic overall, but this thing is pretty interesting. It's pretty fun to use if you want to give it a go. Guys, if you enjoyed the video at all today, hit like and subscribe for me. I'll catch you in the next one. Hope you all have a fantastic, amazing day. Take it easy.